Keyboard is where you enter information to your computer, laptop, phone, iPad, Xbox, PlayStation, and so on. You enter this information in different ways. If you're on a computer or laptop, you have to use your trusty keyboard. If you're on a phone or iPad, you will deal with a keyboard that shows up when you want to type something. If you're on an Xbox or PlayStation, you have to use your controller to type into the keyboard that shows up when you want to type something onto your device. Our devices will probably work one of these three ways, but don't quote me on that. Anyways, keyboard is important to me because this is the main talent I have. I use a laptop, Xbox, and phone to type on. I used to have a PlayStation 3 and an iPad, but I sold those. I'm a pretty fast keyboard with an average of 90 WPM, which stands for words per minute. I say I had interest in typing when I was in 2nd grade. If I'm correct, in 2nd grade, we had to go to a 3rd grade math teacher even though we're in 2nd grade. I'm not sure why we went to a 3rd grade teacher for math, but anyways, the 3rd grade teacher around one named Annie was the teacher we had for math. She made us do this thing on the computer where you have to type in answers to math problems such as multiplication and division. We also did addition and subtraction, but from what I remember, we mainly done multiplication because we were studying our multiplication tables. Anyways, this is one of the first times I mainly used a computer since I was good at math, and back then I was pretty used to a computer since we had one at home. However, this one was the main time I used a computer because the one back home didn't do that much. I was able to type in these problems pretty quickly, which probably helped me become faster at typing on a keyboard. When I hit 4th grade, we had to do typing lessons either in a library or a computer room. And that's where I met this girl named Violet. Violet was this one girl that I had in my 4th grade class, and she was one of the people I'd sit next to in the library for computer keyboarding classes. During the time of the library, I found a way to skip the lessons without actually having to do the lessons. All I remember is that you had to right click and there was an option to skip. Since I was lazy and wasn't as interested in typing back then, I decided to use the skip method. Violet saw me doing it and kept on pointing out because I was using a cheesy tactic, and she points about how she was doing it correctly, and she shows her WPM, but if I'm correct back then, she had pretty good WPM, and back then I wasn't that fast at typing compared to now. Around a few weeks later, the teachers caught someone using the skipping trick, and the teachers warned us to not do that. So I was forced to actually type these random characters and numbers. There was some words in there, but there was not many. Near the end of 4th grade, Violet moved away, and we still continued the typing lessons all the way through elementary school. I didn't see any changes in my keyboarding skills, but when it hit 6th grade, everything changed for my keyboarding skills. One of the special area teachers I had during my 6th grade was a computer keyboarding class. I had this class for one semester, but during that semester I managed to start having an interest in typing more. Around that time I also got my first laptop, and I began getting apps like Discord, Roblox, and so on. With this laptop I began to start typing more frequently, and that helps me with passing my computer keyboarding class. However, the problem with my keyboarding is that I am not used to using the right method. Here's an example of how I'm not using the right one. This is a keyboard. If you see F and J keys, there's little lines on them. Eddie, which I'm going to name for our computer keyboard teacher for middle school, wants to put 4 fingers on ASDF and the other 4 on JKL. He also wants to put your thumbs on the spacebar. My method is that I don't use this method and just remember keys on top of my head, so I don't have to look at them, and I don't use the method that A wants me to use. This comes with a problem, however, because A will cut off a part of my grade because I am not using the right method, but I do not care because A is not going to force me to change up my method. A problem that I have with the keyboard itself is mainly the number pad that is found on the right side of the computers. Luckily, I had a laptop, so I don't have to deal with this as much, but in the computer keyboard room, we had computers with them, and one of the lessons we do on typing lessons involved the number keypad, which is very annoying, trust me on that. Skipping forward to 7th grade, my WPM no joke doubled. In 6th grade, I say I had a WPM of around 40, if I'm correct. In 7th grade, I got around 8 words per minute and had A once again as my special area teachers, and nothing really changed as much. I had the same typing lessons. I also forgot to mention that another problem with the typing lessons is that I do not like those freaking random letters and numbers we had to do on typing lessons. I score my below average on those because they are too annoying to deal with. Anyway, so now we skip to 8th grade and I managed to hit 100 WPM several times. The highest WPM I ever got on a typing lesson is, if I'm correct, 132 WPM, which is good for an 8th grader. Near the end of my 8th grade year, we had to go to high school, and I instantly knew that I'm going to take that networking class that was shown there. I might do a video on that later, but don't quote me on that. Anyways, this is where I am now. Waiting for my networking class. I am taking the high school to learn more about keyboarding. Changed to one thing that I was interested in, then changed to my main talent. This is Skullz Animation. Sign off.